Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This video is part 2 of my 3-week trip to Bishop. If you didn't watch the first part, I'll put the link up on the screen right now. And if you still didn't watch it, here's a quick recap. I climbed some tall and exciting things. I found some V4s and V5s really hard, but other ones were pretty easy, relatively speaking. And surprise, surprise, the climbs that I found easier were slab or vert. I even sent this V6 slab at the SADS called French Press in like 28 minutes or something. I also spent a huge amount of time alone and ate a lot of bread. Yep. So without further ado, here's how the rest of my trip went. I had 2 objectives for my last week in Bishop. One, to send Flyboy Arete, a V5 that I did easily in 2 sections within maybe 20 minutes of trying it, but was struggling to put together. And 2, to try this climb called Devoted, a V8 slab that kind of turned out to be not that much of a slab. You'll see. Hi, look. I am in Bishop at the Buttermilks, resting today. It's just so beautiful, it makes me happy. I thought I would just take this opportunity to talk about why I'm here. One of the things that my coach Jessie wants me to do is boulder in different areas. I've split climbed in a bunch of different places, but prior to this year I hadn't bouldered in very many different places at all. Different rock and different styles is a great way to learn and get better, and I love it here. Like going on bouldering trips to amazing climbing areas like this one, on board. So this was my 3rd and final session on Flyboy Arete. I'll let you see how it went.
I like you add, like the way you add, like the way you move. I like the way you move. I like the way you do it. I like the way you do. I like the way you move it. I like the way you move. I like the way you do. The way you do. The way you move. I like the way you move.
The move feels so hard when I get there. I would fall on the same move every time, but I'd be able to pull on immediately and do the move and go to the top. This boulder is kind of classic power endurance, something that I'm generally not great at. Plus, this was almost at the end of the trip and I was really feeling it. I did have this guy to my advantage. If you recognize him, that's Jessie, my coach. We worked together online and this was the first time that we actually met in person, so it was really cool. He helped me figure out better beta for the crux move, using a heel instead of a toe.
Oh, that's smart.
But by this point, I just didn't have enough juice left to stick it from the ground. Plus, I was kind of saving myself for Devoted. I'm pretty sure if I went back to this boulder with this new better beta and a bit more rest, it would go down. But I just didn't have time, so I had to leave it unsent. And that brings us to Devoted, which is kind of the perfect name for this climb now that I spent some time on it. It was a challenge in every way. So here's what happened. Problem number 1. The climb had no chalk on it. If you're trying to climb a granite slab with micro features, this definitely makes it extra hard. Problem number 2. I wasn't sure where the line even went. The book describes it as going straight up from the sit start, but every single beta video that I could find online, yes, including Andy Lou's, went right. Ultimately doing some sort of combination between what the book said and this alternative line to the right, which is like a V5 or a V6. I did everything I could think of to solve these problems. I asked everybody that I know, I read everything I could find on the internet, I took a ladder out to the climb to see if that would shed some light. In short, I put in some serious time and effort just trying to figure out where the climb actually went. And in the end, it was the kindness of strangers that answered that for me. I met a friendly local who had sent the climb, and she was super, super nice, like helped me carry my pads over to the climb, chalked up all of the holes with my stick brush, and even worked it with me a little bit at night before she had to leave.
Try real hard.
So now I know where the climb goes, where the holds are, and even some beta.
Yes. Oh, look at it.
By this stage, I was in the final days of my trip, and I was really tired, but I was also really psyched, and I had spent a lot of time and energy on this. So after Flyboy Arete that session with Jessie, I went and gave the boulder a proper go. This is my first real session of actually being able to try the thing, and it went quite well. So well, in fact, that I decided to extend my trip by 3 more days to work on it.
That was so good. I just lost my balance a little bit.
And then I encountered problem number 3, conditions. That session where I had that pretty good go, it was windy and snowing on and off. It was freezing. And after that day, it was pretty freaking warm.
It's hot. It's pretty different from freezing hail snow yesterday.
It felt like a totally different climb. Plus, after now spending 2 real sessions working the thing, I don't think it actually is a slab. Now, I'm trying to try boulders that are harder for me, hence getting on this V8 in the first place. But on a trip and right at the end, it just felt like a little more than I could do. So I decided to go back to Vegas and end my trip. It is my last full day in Bishop. It's a Tuesday, March 26th, and I will have been here for 3 weeks when I leave. Calendar. I'm not climbing today, rest day bunch of champions, and I'm probably not going to climb tomorrow either because I am pooped. I am pooped in all the ways. Physically pooped, mentally pooped, emotionally pooped. This is hands down the longest bouldering trip I've ever been on, and to a place that's kind of unforgiving. It's like alpine. It's insanely dry, and it's like pretty windy and cold. And the rock is super freaking sharp. It's been awesome, like for sure. I've had a wonderful time, but I would say I probably could have done without the last week. Before I leave, I figured I should do a little truck tour. I have shown the truck in my first video, but you may not have seen that. So, front door, I'm gonna turn around. Yeah, the window's dirty. The view is good. There's the Milks, there's the main parking lot right there, and that's the Peabodys. So yeah, come inside, Tito. This is what you see. We have table, drinking water, shower, like the absolute best thing ever. Table also goes up, and then that cushion lies flat down there, so it can be like a bench or an extra bed. On the other side, we have kitchen, stove, sink, toaster, espresso machine, dishes, some people outside who are neighbors probably think I'm really weird talking to myself. And then over here, we have a freezer and a full-size fridge. And just so we're all on the same page, is bread. I do eat other stuff. I mean, you can do some stuff here. And there's like fish there. But especially on a climbing trip and like for lunches and stuff, it's like 2 to 3 sandwiches a day every day. Big sandwiches. Okay, bed. It's a queen. Another window over here. Skylight. WeBoost up there. Internet. Full-size closet. And me. Hi. This came with Tito in his original form as a bomb squad vehicle. And of course, underneath the bed we have crash pads. I am feeling ready to go home and to not be cold. I've spent a lot of time being cold.
3 hours later.
How to get warm. I stayed in Bishop one more day because Jesse really wanted to do checkerboard and he needed more pads. And yes, he denied my offers of staying an extra day a suitable number of times before finally acquiescing, even though he spent plenty of time supporting me on Devoted. Here's how it went. And for the sake of keeping things real, Jesse originally wanted to try and flash checkerboard, and this is how that went.
Oh, wow. All right.
I said I'd support him on it. I didn't say I wouldn't laugh. After Jesse was done, I ended up trying neither of my objectives, neither flyboyerette nor devoted. I was planning to just rest this day, and I definitely should have. Instead, I tried some random V5 mantle climb and kind of punted, which was fine. I was absolutely destroyed, and I had a really nice day regardless. So that brings us to answering the question, what did I learn in Bishop? There are a couple of moments from the last video that I'd like to remind you of first. One of them is this guy who is way stronger than me, struggling on this V5 that I didn't think was very hard.
Yeah.
Good. Put your belly on it.
Good. Yes.
That was heinous.
The other is this guy.
I've been at the Buttermilks for like 5 days straight.
Remember him?
I've been climbing with 2 of my friends that climb viciously harder than me.
Again, this guy is way stronger than me, and also quite obnoxious, unlike the previous guy, who is lovely, gotta clarify.
They're Cessna V14s. But a lowly V10 climber.
But he couldn't do the first move on this boulder, and he struggled with the rest of it as well. And once again, I thought it was pretty easy. So with that front of mind, back to what I learned. There was one thing in particular that really stuck out. I think I'm better at slab than I thought I was. I think I might even be good at slab.
Yeah?
I realize this maybe sounds obnoxious or something. And believe me, I generally jump to every other possible option except for the fact that I'm good at something in climbing. But after many sessions where strong climbers would struggle on a slab that I didn't think was hard, it kind of felt like it was undeniable. I definitely have a history of assuming that I suck at everything in climbing, so to learn this is kind of cool, and I feel inspired to find out what I can do. And yes, I didn't send devoted, however, it's a V8. The hardest thing I've ever sent is a V7. I've only sent one of them and it was just a couple of months ago.
Yes, come on, Yuri.
And I got pretty damn close in a couple of sessions. The reason why I'm sharing this is not to make myself sound cool or good or anything, which I'm sure I'm not. It's to encourage other people to find out what they're good at. Maybe don't be like me and have to have it smack you in the face before you believe it. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and it's all relative. Like, you're strong at something compared to your own ability in something else, and vice versa. And I think there are a ton of climbers out there who know what they're good at, but I'm sure that there are quite a few who don't. Maybe it's slab, or maybe it's not. Either way, I'm excited to see what happens next. Boulder season is nearly over, and I'd like to project some hard slab routes this season. This also has one added benefit. Slab, in particular, I think is more about confidence than other styles. So having a bit more confidence in slab makes me better at it, and it's like this ongoing upward spiral. And that was the real end of my trip. I took my tired self back to Vegas for some much needed rest.
Just like empty in every way.
If you like this video, hit subscribe, maybe give it a like, drop a comment. Editing Haley is 3 weeks later, still recovering from this trip. But more about that in the next video. For now, I'll leave you with this. Day after Bishop. Got home last night. Fingers be thick and skin terrible. Maybe I get some gains